On today's episode, I'm sitting down with Liam Fountain. Why limit yourself to one passion? Liam does it all, from being the president of an Irish Catholic fraternity to being USA amateur champion. And in between all that, he's an actor and he trains in stage combat. Tune in so you can find out how to chase all your dreams too. Liam, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, it's great to have you on here. There's so much about you. I mean, I see you around. We kind of run in a similar circle, but there's so much that I don't know, that things you do that are so interesting. So I kind of want to jump into all of them. I guess let's just start real quick with where you from, you know.
So I was born in L.A., which surprises a lot of people. Nobody thinks I'm from California.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
But then I lived in Chicago, and that's where my father's from. My parents split. I was there briefly. And then my mom stopped in Sacramento. She got a state job there. So I was raised in Sacramento.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah, I didn't know that. I always thought you were from, like, Boston.
Yeah, I know. Right? Everybody thinks that.
Yeah. I don't know why. Not because you have a Boston accent.
No, but just everybody.
Yeah, it could be the Irish thing, you know. So when did you get introduced to, what came first, boxing or acting? I know you're passionate about both.
Movies came first. So, you know, Rocky Balboa was a big influence, you know.
Okay.
You ever seen that little baby and he's training to Rocky in the clips? There's like a little,
No.
I was like that, you know. When I saw Rocky, I loved Rocky.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I think like 1983 was a big year of movies for me. I was very young. I was like 5.
Yeah.
But you know, you had Rocky 3 had just come out.
Yeah.
And that was like really cool because he's like a superhero. Superman was big.
Yeah.
And then I watched like Conan the Barbarian, Bruce Lee movies.
Yeah.
So I think definitely cinema was more of an influence than anything else. But then as I got older, I realized that there's a real thing, like there's a real sport to boxing. So I think Rocky got me into the sport, and then me and my buddies would get together and watch all the fights, you know.
Super cool. Were you a fan of like all the 8 Commando and the Schwarzenegger stuff too?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. American Ninja and all these like cool action.
I didn't get into American Ninja that much. I watched them later to get an appreciation for them because, I don't know, they're not as good.
Yeah, when I was a kid, they were great.
They're great. They're
I
like
just
G.I.
watched
Joe.
American Ninja recently, and I'm like, this is the worst. Like, what? But as a kid, they were great. I used to run around my house with, like, I made a little ninja suit, and I would, like, use my pillows, and I'd do kung fu or karate or whatever. I was just kicking the pillow's butt.
Ninjutsu?
Yeah.
Because
I like
you're a
Ninja. I like the Ninja Turtles. I like the Karate Kid. I'm a huge Karate Kid fan, which led recently in the Cobra Kai and all that. So yeah, but anyways, I grew up in that era too. So it was like everything was like this cheesy action movie, but they were so, except, I mean, Rocky was iconic.
Rocky was iconic. But even those they get cheesy. Like the first movie is great. It's an Academy Award-winning film.
Is great.
And the second movie is kind of like the first one, but he wins, and it's, you know, a little more derivative. The third one, it starts getting more cartoony.
Yeah.
The fourth one is a lot of fun. It's a great 80s action movie, but it's pretty cheesy.
Right. It's Russia and America, and, you know,
they're both like juiced out of their minds.
Right. What's he say at the end? If I could change.
You can change. We all can change.
Yeah, it's great, though. You know what? I'm at that age, though. I'm at that age level. I'm that, like, 40-plus guy who just loves those. Like, I watch Karate Kid, and I tear up, and I get inspired. Like, when Mr. Miyagi, when he's like, how am I going to learn balance? Not for me. Not for Ali. You know? And then Mr. Miyagi's like, close eyes. You know, boom. Like I get emotional. I don't know if it's nostalgia from when I was a kid and watching these movies, or if because like I've tried to show these movies to my son when my son was growing up. I'm like, you got to see this. It's going to change your life. And he's like asleep, like halfway through Karate Kid, you know, and it's like boring to him. I'm like, how can you be asleep? I waited months for this movie to come out in the theater. Anyways, yeah.
The attention span isn't as good as it once was. I mean, you've got, you know, TikToks and Instagram where it's a minute or 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even in acting, you have to have a reel for the casting director to look at you. Well, they say they don't watch more than like 20-something seconds.
Right.
So you make your reel like a minute long and you send it off.
Gotta catch them.
And otherwise, they're just not going to watch all of it. So you got to try to make it as concise and short as possible, and hopefully they get through it and they like what they see and call you in.
Yeah, no, you're right. People aren't watching content; they watch it quick, and you got to adapt with it. Okay, so you grew up in Sacramento. When did you really get into acting? Like in high school, did you do it?
Yeah, in high school. So I had in junior high, I wrestled. I tried out for the wrestling team. I made varsity, which in retrospect, it's pretty good for my first year.
As a freshman?
No, this is 8th grade.
Oh, wow.
So then in high school, I did wrestle as a freshman for a little bit. And then I saw my buddy, he did a play. And I went to go see the play. And I always liked movies. And I was like, oh, I kind of want to do that.
Wow.
Actually, let me backtrack. In '89, same buddy who was doing the play in high school, I've known him since 4th grade. His name's Kevin. Hey, Kevin. And he joined the Sacramento Children's Theater Company, and I wanted to join that too, so bad. Oh, I want to join the Sacramento Children's Theater Company. So I asked my parents, and my stepfather, he didn't want to spend the money on it. Instead, he took us to see 1989's Batman.
Oh,
so
yeah,
Batman,
Michael Keaton.
That movie is like kind of special for me because it was a time when I was trying to do something, and it's in the same vein, so I got that out of that. So a couple of years go by. Junior high happens. I'm on the wrestling team. Freshman year, I'm on the wrestling team. I go see my same buddy, Kevin, in a play. And I signed up for theater with him because he's like, let's do theater. I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, I always like to do that. So then when I saw him do the play, I was like, I think I'm going to do plays. So I stopped wrestling. I started doing plays in high school and had class and that sort of thing.
All right, so throughout high school, you were also into sports, or you kind of focused more on the theater?
Turned into more theater stuff, you know.
Okay, and when did the boxing start?
So
was that later in life? Because I know
sort
you
of in
box
high school
now.
too. Me and I had another set of friends. These are all my Mexican friends. Hello, Mexican friends. My good buddy Juan and all of his friends, and we would all get together in the backyard and beat each other up.
Okay.
You know, just to. I don't know why, but we did.
Sure. Sounds like a fun thing to do.
Test yourself, I guess, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like it wasn't malicious or anything, but, you know, like plus we would watch all the fights and everything, so you kind of want to emulate. And then when I moved to LA, I was like, I'd really like to learn how to do this properly. So that when I moved to LA, I was 18, and I went to a gym. Benny the Jet Urquidez was the world kickboxing champion. And he had a gym in North Hollywood next to that Gold's Gym. It's just a field now. But I went there and I took boxing and kickboxing and kind of learned. I also learned that I wasn't that great at it, so I wasn't going to be a professional or anything. But it's good to know to be able to defend yourself or whatever. So that's how I got into that. And then I started taking an acting class out here with Joe Police, who you've heard of. You have had plenty of people.
Yeah, I met him a couple times.
He was a good
Came
man.
out to one of my plays.
Which one?
Replica.
Oh, okay.
Saw Jeremy.
Right.
In it. Yep. Yeah, good guy. He passed away.
Yeah.
But he mentored a lot of you that I've come to know. He was a really, really great acting teacher.
He was a really great acting teacher, yeah.
So you got into the class, and that's when you kind of started getting in it. Now, let me ask you, as an actor or getting started, how do you pay the bills? How'd you find a way to navigate your way? Because we have actors come on a lot, because I know a lot of actors, and it's nice to hear about jobs or bookings, but what I like to focus on, how do you navigate your way through? How are you paying bills throughout this journey, and what kind of jobs are you doing?
Well, it's nice to get acting work, and if that was the only way you made money, that'd be nice.
That'd be great.
I only had that a brief period of time, but let's see. When I first moved here, I ended up getting a job at a hotel, and I worked in housekeeping.
Oh,
and everybody thought I was Russian because they didn't think this American kid would be working in housekeeping.
Oh, wow.
Like, seriously.
Really?
You speak English? I'm like, yeah. What did you, I thought you were Russian or something. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
And I worked there for 9 years. I worked all over the hotel. I worked as an operator, answering the phone. I worked at the front desk. Then I saw the valet guys like running back and forth and making tips. And I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And then as I got older enough, the bar opened up and they needed a bartender. So I was like, oh, can I do that? So I became the bartender there. And then when I was pushing 10 years, I was like, I got to figure something else out. So from then I started doing production assistant work.
Okay.
So I worked on a couple of shows, and I was on Extreme Makeover Home Edition for a couple of years.
Oh, cool. As a PA.
As a PA, which is pretty good because it's go for work. Go do this.
I did PA work for a couple of years.
Make the coffee, clean up the kitchen, deliver this, deliver that. And then they were pretty good about letting me go to auditions or what if I needed.
Sure.
That was back when you actually went into the room. Right. I haven't been in the room in like 5 years. It's all
self-tapes.
It's all online. And then from there, that job ended, and I needed to do something. So I had a friend who worked at a bar, and he said, "Would you want to be a door guy?" And I was like, I don't know if I want to be a door guy. What do I do? He's like, "Oh, it's pretty easy. You just check IDs, and if anything happens, you try to talk people out of stuff." And I was like, okay. And I thought, well, I've wrestled before, and I know how to box a little bit. Maybe I could do this. So I started doing like bar security, and then I went from one job to another one, and then that one was pretty rough. So I learned quickly how to deal with a lot of drunk people and escalating people and trying to talk them out of stuff and grabbing them and dragging them outside. And that was pretty rough because every couple of nights there would always be like a big eruption. People throw glass. I got a beer bottle over my head.
Wow.
People threw a chair at me.
How much you making doing this?
Well, I wish it was like, Dalton money, like in, what was that movie, Roadhouse?
Roadhouse.
Have you ever seen Roadhouse?
Yeah, of course.
He tells the guy, he's like, I want $10,000 up front cash, and I want $500 a night cash. And the guy's like, deal. And this is in 1989. So I was not making that kind of money.
Yeah.
But
getting hit in the head with bottles for like $50 a night.
It was like $17 an hour.
Oh, wow.
Which at the time was like pretty good. But I went through that enough, and one day I was like, I don't want to die on this street, because every day I'm going to come back and kill you. And I'm like, I hope this guy doesn't keep his word.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to do something else. And then I had a friend who introduced me to the security team at Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Okay.
So I went over there, and I thought, this is going to be much nicer. You wear a suit, have an
sure,
earpiece.
Jimmy Kimmel, yeah.
There's people coming in, celebrities. And
tourists, and
they
coming
actually
to
put me on the show a few times.
Nice.
Not that they knew I was an actor. They eventually figured it out, and I got to know everybody. But I was on that show like 6 times, which is pretty cool.
Like as a guest?
No, like doing bits.
Oh, really? On Jimmy Kimmel?
On Jimmy Kimmel,
Oh,
yeah.
we got to get some of that footage.
I'll send it to you.
That's awesome, man. What was it like hanging out? Is Jimmy cool?
He's nice enough.
Talented guy, huh? He's a pretty funny guy.
He's very funny. But, his name's on the building, so he's got a lot of things to do. He's not going to stop and talk to you, like he'll say hello or whatever, give you a fist bump.
Yeah.
Guillermo was very funny.
Oh, yeah.
Guillermo.
Yeah, he seems like he's a funny guy.
So my bit was I played Sean Spicer, so when he was the press secretary in Trump's first term.
Uh-huh.
So I thought,
oh, right.
Great, I'm going to have this job for 4 years. This is perfect. I think shortly after that, I got fired. So I only did 4 or 5 episodes. But one day I was driving to work, and I hear this car honking, and I hear, Spicy! Spicy! I look over, and it's Guillermo.
That's awesome.
So that was a pretty good show. And then COVID happened and shut everything down. And I was like, man, I got to do something else. I ended up getting a job working at the Great Western Forum.
In Inglewood, right?
In Inglewood.
Yeah.
And I was just doing security, but I would just sit and watch all the COVID testing sites at nighttime.
Okay.
So basically, people will come and I say, you got to come back tomorrow.
Oh, that's funny. I took my COVID test there. That's interesting. I wonder if you were working.
Well,
that was back during COVID.
I worked when they were shut down, so you would have went during the day.
I went in the daytime, like you had to wait in line.
Just to tell people, come back tomorrow.
Oh, copy. Yeah, I was there in the day, yeah. That's funny, though. That's where I went to do, during COVID.
Yeah, that was where I was. That was an easy job. I would just bring my jump rope and watch movies.
Work out.
I was just there doing nothing. So I was like, I'll do that. And then I got my weapons permit. So I started doing armed security. I was in South Central for a while, and that's no fun. And now I have a nicer job. It's kind of cushy in Beverly Hills. So
okay. So with all that said, getting to you have done many jobs to support yourself, to keep pursuing this this life as an actor and auditioning and so you've had some successes. You've booked some stuff. I mean, you did the Jimmy Kimmel stuff. You've done some films.
I've done some films.
Any films or like anything that stood out, like an experience that really stood out for you as an actor, a role? Or have you? And it's okay if not. Like, have you not got that role yet? But is there anything you've done that's you want to highlight?
I mean, it's fun to act in general. So
Sure.
anything you get is a blessing, you know. So it's like, it's like when you're a kid, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever played pretend before when you were like 8 years old. You had action figures, right?
Yeah. I still do that.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So me and my older sister, we would have action figures, or we would put on costumes and act it out.
Yeah.
And we had this thing where she said, "Do you want to play little people? Or you want to play big people?" And usually I would want to play big people.
Sure.
And with acting, I found out you get a job where they pay you to play big people.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
think
exciting.
about it. It would be, you and me in a costume right now. We'd just be playing pretend, and they give you money for that. And I was like, I want to do that. So I don't have any particular part that I think is was better than any of the others. They're all like a lot of fun.
Gotcha. Is there a dream role that you could see yourself playing?
Sure. I've had a few that I went for. So I was a big fan of The Road Warrior.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I found out Mel Gibson wasn't going to be in it. And Jeremy Luke actually gave me a book, Think and Grow Rich, and had all these things about what people did to try to make things happen.
Sure.
So I read that book and I came up with this idea. So I made a little trailer and I put it on YouTube because I was like, nobody knows who I am.
Yeah.
And I sent it to George Miller, his production company, once a week, and a letter once a week for like 7 months.
Nice.
Until they said, we got all your stuff, thank you. I was a little bit naive because I didn't realize it was going to be a $300 million budget, and they're not going to cast an unknown. So Tom Hardy got it, and he was great.
Sure.
But I went for it, and I made a trailer, and from that trailer, I found out that there's a fan base of Mad Max fans, and they kind of like Star Trek conventions. But they do like a Road Warrior convention where they build the Thunderdome and they go out in the desert and they got cars and outfits. And I met one guy, Paul Miller, who said, "Oh, I saw your trailer. I really liked it. I've got a short film, fan film. Would you like to do it? I've got a replica car." And I was like, "I get to drive the car? Yeah, sign me up."
Wow.
So we made a fan film, and I got to drive the car, and it's a pretty cool little fan film. And that's got like 3 million views on YouTube.
That's awesome, man.
I don't know 3 million people, so I'm like, it was a success.
So you basically, they're doing this film that you were a big fan of. You decided to do the work, create a trailer, get it out there, and it led to, that's awesome.
So it didn't work to the big movie, but
Of course.
But it worked.
But what's great about that, Liam, is like, of course. It's like you're not going to play Mad Max. I mean, exactly. Not just were you being naive. It's not going to happen. And you know what I mean? Like Tom Hardy, like the stars are going to play it. But you still created your own avenue that led to a subsect of playing Mad Max in a big way, which is great. Yeah. I mean, that's a great kind of blueprint for people listening to this podcast. It's like I mean I think that's the metaphor for everything. It's like we might aim to get something in life, to be I might say by 50 I'm gonna have $10 million liquid in the bank. That's my goal. I want to be set. I want to so what if I don't, but I build my first house by 50?
Yeah. Still
a great, right? I aimed for something big. But, if you aim big, you know what I mean? You're still going to, even if you feel you came up short, usually you're a lot further than you were if you didn't even try. Right?
I'm a big fan of trying.
Yeah.
Because I have met many people where they want to do something, and then I will suggest, we'll try this. Well, what if they say no? I mean, what if they say no? I guarantee you, if you don't try, 100%.
Yeah.
It's a no because you didn't try. But if you try, that's 50% better.
Yeah.
You know, I would rather see the girl across the bar and go ask her out than just look at her and think about, what if she says no? I'd rather hear no. No is a perfectly good answer. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Move
you
on.
make me think of Seth Rogen's movie Knocked Up. Remember when he like ends up with what's her name?
Katherine Heigl, right?
Yeah, Katherine Heigl. That movie's so funny. And he's like a regular guy like us, and it's like, hey, he took his shot, and he ends up. Okay, so let's get into boxing, man. I'm really interested with. One of the reasons I want to bring you on the podcast, was to talk about something that inspired me about you. I know you train a couple of our friends, James. I know you train James, and I've seen like really good results. Like you've helped him, lose weight and find a lot of confidence. I see him on social media, and he's like feeling good, and a lot of that has to do with the way I think the training you do and getting them in there. But you've also had some boxing matches recently in Vegas.
Yes.
So you're boxing over the age. I don't want to put your age out there, but
I think we're the same age. Yeah.
yeah, so we're talking over 40, and you're still getting in the ring and you're boxing, and what's that about? I mean, what?
So during COVID, which was a weird time for all of us, right?
Yeah,
It was like, is this the end of the world? It makes you kind of contemplate. But I had a patch of kind of bad luck, or not bad luck, but just patch of life. I got divorced. My father passed, and COVID was happening. I was out of shape. I was like 212 pounds, which is pretty heavy on my frame. Yeah. I remember getting on the scale and seeing like, whoa, 212. And I thought Mike Tyson was 220 in his prime, and I have a very different physique. Yeah. So I was like, man, I got to do something. So I went to a barbecue, my friend's going away barbecue, and that's when I jumped on the scale. So, we were eating and drinking, and the next day I was hungover, and I was like, I'm going to go for a run. So I went to run around the track at the North Hollywood Park there.
Yeah.
And from there, I was like, I gotta figure something out. So I looked online to see if there's any, old guy boxing. And there's a division called USA Masters Boxing. And it's 35 and older, and it's held by USA Boxing.
Wow.
So you have to go get your physical, you got to get a book. And then these guys get out and compete, and it's pretty amazing. A lot of them are very, very good fighters. Wow. You go to a tournament, and I'm looking around. There's like guys with tattoos on their face, snarling, and I'm like, "What am I doing here?"
Yeah.
But I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm gonna try it." So I have competed for the past couple of years, and the last fight I had in Vegas, I won, and I got a title. So technically, I'm a USA amateur boxing champion.
That's great, man. Yeah, I want to stand. Like, what's the training in this? So you get into it for the people watching, especially the 40-year-old men or women that are watching that are like, telling me, how does that start? What's the training like at 40 or 40 plus? What does that look like? I mean, you're not doing what you were doing at 20, I'd imagine.
I mean,
are you?
It's the same. It's just maybe not as fast. Mm-hmm. The recovery time is not as good. But, you take your health and your fitness for granted when you're young. I mean, I remember in my 20s, if I'm starting to get a belly, I'm going to do 2-a-days. With work and everything, I'm lucky I can do 2 weeks, work out twice a week.
Right.
So it's different, but it's just discipline. You train on the days you don't want to.
Yeah.
And that makes you better, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like running today. Well, it doesn't matter. I need to. And you always feel better after you work out anyway.
Sure.
So it's just more about the discipline of it all. But, I mean, I still jump rope and, shadow box and hit the bag and that sort of thing. My cardio is pretty good. It's fascinating. It's fascinating mentally to go to a competition.
Yeah.
It's different than if you were to get into an altercation, like say you and me right now, all of a sudden we just started fighting, or like I attacked you, right? You would just react.
Yeah.
But if I said, all right, Paul, at the end of the show, we're going to fight.
Yeah.
You got the whole time to think about it.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's, fights going on, you're watching them, and then you're looking at your opponent, and he's in his little outfit, and you're in your outfit, and you're like, oh, what am I doing? I kind of equate it to a roller coaster. You know, like if you go a big scary roller coaster, you're going click, 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 click,
Yeah,
click,
yeah,
click,
yeah.
click, and you have the all the time, and then you're in it. Bing, ding, the bell rings, then you're just reacting. You're not scared anymore.
Right.
It's the time before thinking about all the things that could happen. And I think it's a great metaphor for life because you spend a lot of time worrying about what could happen when it doesn't matter one way or the other. You're going to go and do it, and it'll happen how it happens. So it helps with not worrying about whatever.
Sure.
But it helps with the nerves for auditions too. Like I don't get nervous anymore.
Nice, nice. I have another question. Do you worry at my age? What I've been feeling sometimes when I was young, there's a naivety that comes with taking chances. So, for example, when I was young in the military, our workout regimens were different. When I think back of the things we were doing to now, I guess it seems a little more scary now. Like getting punched in the face at my age now, I know it's going to take me a couple days to recoup. Getting hit in the back, I have a herniated disc. It's like that's I guess what I'm getting at is how do you prepare mentally for that stuff? Do you think about that? Not fighting, not like, I know what you mean, anxiety about a fight. Anyone feels that, whether you're 18, 19, where you're like, man, I could get knocked out. Do you worry? I'm saying because of the age, like, dang, I don't want to pull a hamstring.
Sure.
Like in your 20s, you don't really think of injuries. If they happen, you recover. But at our age, if you slip a disc, that's 6 months on a cane, and you're like, do you think of that stuff or... does that scare you?
Sure. I hurt my back in sparring the first time recently, and I've never hurt my back ever. You hear about I pulled my back out.
Yeah.
I was sparring my buddy Juan, and we spar all the time, and we kind of started grappling a little bit and just messing around. And he just pushed on my head just right, and I was pushing to where I hurt my back, and I was done. I was done for the day, and I was like, oh no. Is this the new normal where I'm like, because, you hear about people, you sleep funny, your neck hurts.
Yeah.
And that's part of getting older. So, yeah, there's definitely a fear of that. And if I were ever to get an injury that was like that, I would call it a day. And I promised my mother if I ever got knocked out, I wouldn't fight again. I haven't been knocked out yet, so.
Knock on wood. No, yeah, that's it. That's just a question I had is because I seen, you going and competing and I thought, damn, that's awesome. And when I see James in the gym, I'm thinking, man, there's days I just get out of the shower and I'm limping all day for no reason. I'm like, what happened? But there's also a thing that it keeps you young too, right? I mean, that's the thing. Yeah. I mean, and I guess that's the important part about it is that we're not too old to do things, and you're not too old to watch your diet and train and still do physical things. So
look at Dick Van Dyke. He's 99. He works out 3 times a week.
Wow.
Because the longer you do it, the longer you'll be able to do it.
Yeah. True. So okay, so where we at now? We're auditioning. We're boxing.
I also take a sword class. I trained with a guy by the name of Dan Speaker and his partner, Jan Bryant. And they're both professional stunt coordinators and sword masters. They've done all kinds of films. And they have a class that teaches the cutlass and broadsword and that sort of thing. Yeah. And I always like those kind of movies, like Conan the Barbarian, like I mentioned earlier. Braveheart was the movie I saw in high school where I told my mom after, I said, I'm going to move to L.A. I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to do that.
Braveheart's the one that did it.
Braveheart was so good, And of course, you read all the history and it's not accurate or whatever.
Sure.
It doesn't matter. It's a great movie.
Yeah. I've been to the memorial in Scotland.
Yeah?
The William Wallace Monument. Yeah, it's great. They actually shot the film over in some of those areas, but I went there when I was in Edinburgh. So
that's cool.
It was pretty awesome. Okay, so there's a career in that. Are you planning to transition, or is it something you're excited to do? Maybe get into the fight choreography on films. I know acting, but is that also something that's calling you? Maybe.
I mean, I have been a stunt coordinator on a couple of films. They were smaller, and that's something that's fun. I like to do that sort of thing. I mean, ideally, I would like to just perform and be an actor.
Sure.
I mean, Mel Gibson's got a new project coming out that I'd like to do. It's about the Siege of Malta, where like 500 knights fought up against like 100,000 Ottoman,
Oh, wow.
and they were able to keep Malta. And this happened like the 1500s. It's probably going to be a great movie.
Yeah.
Mel, put me in it.
Yeah. Hopefully, if he's watching. Yeah, me too.
You'll learn how to use a sword, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just tell him I already know how. Yeah, I'm an actor. Yeah, I'm an expert.
Of course, I can ride a horse.
So yeah, you have been teaching. I noticed also you've been helping out with some friends projects with the fight choreography and stuff. What would you find is the not the most difficult, but the most complex part of fight choreography on film, opposed to obviously you're a trained boxer in real life. So the difference of us doing it on film or on stage.
So the biggest difference is if we were fighting for real, I would try to keep it tight and hidden so you can't see what I'm going to do, right? So I'm trying to trick you.
Yeah.
For the camera, you have to make everything a little bit bigger, one, so the camera can see, and so your partner can see what you're doing, so you can react to it.
Right.
Because within stage combat or, those kind of things where you're going to do take after take in different angles, you're trying not to hurt each other. You're trying to make it look like you're hurting each other. Versus a real match, I'm trying to eliminate you as quickly as possible because you're a threat.
Yeah.
As opposed to, it's like a ballet or a dance performance. It just happens to be combat. A lot of dancers are really good martial arts fighters. Like I think Michelle Yeoh was a dancer before she ever did any of her fight stuff.
Wow.
And she was able to hang with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
So that, a lot of they have the timing down. It's a similar body movement, and that kind of stuff's really good for your memory. For the older you get, you're doing that sort of thing. Whether you're dancing or choreography, that kind of thing's good for you.
Yeah.
But that's the major difference is you have to show a little bit more as opposed to like, if I was going to hit you, I'd boom right in the face straight so you can't really see it. For the movie, I need to draw back so you can see it and then you have time to react to it.
Right.
And
sell it.
Different angles. And
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And now you also, let's talk about this, the organization, the Irish organization you belong to.
I'm part of the Ancient Order of Hibernians, and it's the oldest Irish Catholic fraternity in the country.
Wow.
And I'm the president of the LA division.
Yeah.
We're kind of small, but it used to be a bigger group. But, we get together once a month and have a meeting. A lot of times we'll go to Mass first and then have our meeting and just try to celebrate Irish culture.
Sure, and also you focus on the faith. So what's the general idea of the organization for anybody who's interested in looking it up or maybe getting involved? If there's someone watching, how do they go about doing that, and what's your mission behind it?
It's Irish American and Christian charity.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you guys do service around the community, or is it
our particular division? We're trying to build up, but
Sure.
we have we worked the Irish Fair. They just had the Irish Fair. It was the 50th anniversary of the Irish Fair in Los Angeles, and we volunteered to help work at the door, and we try to do things when we're able.
Yeah.
This is a big city, so everybody has to drive around and try to meet. That makes it difficult, but it's nice to have like a little brotherhood and a little bit of culture. It's kind of cool.
Cool. Yeah, maybe we could put some, if you send us some of the info, or if there's a website that you want to plug for that, we could do that. All right. Well, Liam, before you get out of here, you don't just get to walk away. Okay, you got to do what everyone does that comes on the show. We ask them to look into that camera. For anybody listening to your story and that's inspired, what advice do you have for them?
My advice is just go for it, because we have only a finite amount of time, and regret is terrible. So you just go for it. Go for the things you want to do, and don't worry about how good or bad or whatever. Just do it. I heard when I was bartending, there was a lady who asked me what I did, and I said, "Well, I'm an actor," and she tells me, "Oh, that Tom Hanks. I don't like him. I don't believe him." I'm like, Tom Hanks got 2 Oscars. But it made me realize it doesn't matter how good you are, because there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like what you do. So don't worry about it. Just do your thing. Don't get too excited. Don't get too depressed. Just even-keeled and do your thing. Go for it.
Thank you, Liam, for coming on, man. This was great.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. I'll see you again soon, and I'll definitely be looking out for projects. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this podcast with Liam Fountain. Such incredible stuff. Listen, Liam is out there chasing his dreams. I'm chasing mine. Go chase yours.
You should never stress about the problems you be facing. Everybody in the mud on the struggle trying to make it. Look into the mirror and you see the motivation. Then you step into the world and you find your inspiration. I'm finding inspiration, and once I get a hold of it, I'll never get complacent. Look into the mirror and you see the motivation. Then you step into the world and you find your inspiration.